In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to go from this to this. You can create your own AI avatars using a program that is totally free. It's very easy to use once you learn how to do it, and you don't have to worry about an external app stealing your images, and you can create unlimited images. And this tutorial is made for total beginners. It took me 3 different tutorials and 3 different days to figure out how to do this. And it's because most tutorials are not for beginners, but this one is specifically for beginners. So I'm going to show you how to do it. All you need is a free Gmail account, and everything else is going to be free too. So let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so what you're going to need to get started is your Gmail account. We're going to log you into Drive. So you need a Gmail account. It is easier to do it on a desktop computer, though theoretically I think you could do it on your mobile phone. And we're going to help you get a Hugging Face account. But you're going to need some images. You could either take them right now, or you could look through some of your favorite photos, and that is actually the key. If you want your avatar to look the best, you want to choose images that you like, because sometimes it will use some of the poses or expressions that it finds in some of your images. You want at least 12. And I'm using about 28, so the more images that you use, the better AI will understand what you actually look like. But more about that later. I just wanted to let you know that you are going to need to collect some photos, and then we're going to crop them later, but you want to make sure that they are kind of like profile portrait style. Okay, so you want to sign into your Gmail account, and then you want to go to Google Drive. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to type in Google, you're going to go to Drive, and then Go to Drive is right there. And so here's your Drive account, and you want to make sure that's open. Okay, and then you want to click on the link that is down below. If you go below the screen right here and look down, there is a description box, and in that description box there's going to be a Google Colab link. And so click that link, and it's going to look like this. So the Google Colab is basically where a bunch of developers have put together a open source way of using this AI tool, and it's totally free. And basically you're going to be using your own Gmail account to upload your photos. So it's going to be stored all on your Gmail account, but this Google Colab has all of the code, and it's very easy. All we're gonna do is go through and click these arrows as we go down. It's very simple. All right. The first step is we're gonna go to this little play button here, and we're gonna press play. It says this notebook was not authored by Google. Run anyway, it's okay. So this might take a few minutes. Usually it only takes like a couple seconds. Some of these take longer than others, but this one took 1 second, so ready to move on. Okay, now we go down to install requirements. In this black box, the play button shows up, and we press that one. Okay, so that took about 1 minute. Install requirements, we're ready to move on. And the next part is log into Hugging Face. So this is something where you're going to have to create an account, but it's very simple, very easy, and free. I'm going to show you how. So go to Hugging Face, and it says Artificial Intelligence Company. You want to go there. I'm going to create a new account. Okay, so we're going to sign up. Email address, type that in. Okay, so for this part you want to complete your profile, but like put the bare minimum in, because you're never going to use this. It's just so you can get an access code. So type in your username, and that's about it. Create account. Okay, so it'll take you to this page right here. It says check your email address for a confirmation link, so you have to do that. Go into your Gmail account and confirm the email. Okay, so once you've done that, it will take you to this page right here. It says your email address has been verified successfully. It says that in the green box. What you want to do at this point is in the top right corner, there's a little kind of icon, that's your profile, and you want to go to settings. And then on the left hand side, you want to go down to access tokens. Hit that. And then it says user access tokens. You want to press the button for new token. Name, what is this for? So it's just a general name. You're gonna say this is for your avatar. This is important. You wanna put role. You wanna switch it from read to write. Make sure it says write. Then press generate a token. Then you go to this square and the square behind it, which is like the copy button, and then you go back to your collab file where it says log into Hugging Face, insert text here at the Hugging Face token. That's where you want to paste, and then you press this play button right here. Okay, so next we're gonna go to settings and run, and it says if model weight should be saved directly in Google Drive, yes. So you want to click this button here that says save to G Drive, click check, okay? And then down here, you don't want to change this model name here, but the output directory, there is a ZWX file name, stable diffusion weights. This is how it's going to show up in your Google Drive. So you want to come up with a name. I'm going to come up with Lindsay Avatar 223. So February 2023. That's what the file is going to be. All right, so once you've named this file, you're going to press this play button right here. Permit this notebook to access your Google Drive. Yes, connect to your Google Drive. So this is totally safe. You want to allow access and press allow. Okay, now that that's done, we can go to the start training section. We're gonna scroll down a little bit because there's no buttons to press, and then we go to this black box. You can see this little button here. You can add multiple concepts here. So instance prompt, see where that comes up? This is what we want to change. It says photo of ZWX dog. This is something that you're gonna have to change. ZWX is going to refer to your unique name. You want to come up with something unique so that it's not going to confuse your files. If I just put in Lindsay, there might be some other Lindsay who has uploaded their files, so it's going to confuse your image with somebody else. So you want to make this really unique. What I did earlier I think was pretty unique. Lindsay Avatar 223. And then instead of dog, you want to put person. So photo of a person, and then you want to replace this ZWX with your unique name, Lindsay Avatar 223, and replace dog with person. Okay, so that's all you need to do in this section, and then you want to press play. And that's done very quickly. Okay, so here's where you want to upload your images, and you really want to do it by going to the left hand side. There is a little folder button and files. So you want to go to open the data, and then you're going to see your folder Lindsay Avatar 223, and this is where you're going to put your files. So these files are your photos that you're going to use to train AI to understand what your face looks like, and you want to do different angles and good photos. But you can take, selfies right now. You want to do at least 12. I did 28. What you want to do is get those photos, and then we have to crop them to 512 by 512. And so there's an easy way to do that. I will show you how to do that here. Okay, so you want to go to BIRME, BIRM, and this is bulk image resizing made easy. So what you can do is you browse from your computer, you can find the images that you like, and let's take this one. This is gonna come up, and so you want to change this. It's already changed, but you want to make sure this says 512 by 512. And then here, not only do you want to scroll down here, but when you go over here on this side, then you can you might have to click in this box. And then you can, hold on, there we go. Then you can scroll down and go to save as zip or save files. Oh, one thing that I didn't tell you. Okay, so this box here, you can move this around. You want to center it on your face. Make sure that when you're putting you can add more files and add all of them in here and bulk resize at the same time, but make sure you go through and get your face centered in these photos, and then come over here, save as zip if you have a bunch of files or if you want to save them individually, and save files, and then it's going to save it for you so that you make them all 512 by 512. And then once you have that, you want to put them in this folder here. So okay, so I've actually got 27 photos here, and so because I've got 27, make sure you count how many photos you have, because that will be important. Okay, so we're gonna move all of these files, drag it over to this folder, Lindsay Avatar, and drop it in, and press OK. So we're gonna let it upload, and so you don't want to press this button, because just by dragging it in, you are uploading the files. So again, don't press that button. Okay, so now that we have all of our files uploaded in here, we are scrolling down to the next section. What we want to do here in this Accelerate Launch Train thing, we want to go down to where it says Max Train Steps, and you want to basically put in the number of photos that you've uploaded times 100. So I put in 27 photos, so that means I want to put in 2700. And then you want to repeat the same number here, 2700. Okay, then ZWX dog, you want to change that again to Lindsay Avatar 223. That is your unique name, not my name, your name. My unique name is Lindsay Avatar 223, and then you put in person. Okay, so that section is good, and then you want to press the play button. Okay, specify the weights directory to use, leave blank, yes. Then we clicked yes to run a grid of preview images from saved weights. So this means that it's going to give you an idea, like this is what we think your face looks like. Can you check and make sure? And this is what it came up with. So yeah, I would say these images look pretty much like me, and so it's figured out what I look like. Okay, so convert weights to CPTK, and this is a file that you can use. If you continue to work with AI art, you can use this likeness and put that file into other image generators. And so we're going to keep this checked and run the conversion here. Okay, so that has been run. Now we go down to inference. We press the go button here. Okay, so then we go down a little bit. Can set random seed here, just press play. So this is another thing that you can go back and play around with. It's another number that I'm not sure how it really works, but apparently if you change some of these numbers around, you know, to be honest, a lot of this is just trial and error. You play around with different things and see what happens. So, all right, so we checked that. That's ready. Okay, so run for generating images. This is where it gets fun. Okay, so, all right, see how we have ZWX dog in a bucket? These are going to be the examples. Okay, so we want to change this input to, this is Lindsay Avatar 223, and instead of dog, we're putting person, and then we are going to put a prompt, not in a bucket. We want to make, let's say, a photo of Lindsay in a garden. Okay, so that's just very basic. Okay, let's also add in the style of a certain artist. Let's make it a pop art, like Andy Warhol portrait. In the style of Andy Warhol. So what you're going to learn too is that the more specific that you get with your prompt here, the better quality images you're going to get back. So these are very much things that you have to experiment with and figure out what works. And I'll give you some ideas as well as far as what has worked for me and gotten me good results. Okay, negative prompt. These are things that you can play around with later that are going to be like things that you don't want in the photo. Like I don't want grainy, I don't want blurry, things like that. Okay, but I'm not going to mess with that. Let's just keep some of these numbers, guidance scale and inference steps. You can play around with that later. Let's just see what it comes with to begin with. And so we want to press this play button here and we're gonna see what happens. All right, here's where it gets fun. It's kind of like playing a slot machine because you just press this button over and over again. It gives you 4 new images every time, and like sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's horrible and you never know what you're gonna get. So it's kind of fun. All right. So let's see. All right, this kind of looks like me. It is very photo-like. It's kind of blurry. I wouldn't even say it's very pop art-ish. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It's grainy and blurry. So we're gonna put in some negative prompts like we don't want grainy, we don't want blurry. And one thing that I have found works up here is to say like highly detailed face. And you know, instead of a photo, I want to do a portrait. But I don't want it to be cartoon-like. So I'm going to put cartoon in the negative prompt. Okay, let's see what happens. Press play. Okay, so it still looks photo-like. This almost looks like a... See, okay, so one thing that you're gonna see is that the hands kind of turn out weird in a lot of the photos. AI doesn't really know how to create hands very well. It still has a lot of lines here. It's kind of like bad, harsh lighting, and all of that can be changed depending on how you prompt it. Let's see what else it came up with. This is interesting. I don't know what's going on with this blob on my forehead. As you can see, these images are like almost totally random because you know, we can get very, very specific in this prompt, but this is just an idea. I mean, this is kind of pretty. It almost looks like 1950s, 60s style. Okay, interesting. This hairdo. Okay, let's do something different. I want to do something more fantasy avatar style. I mean, it's really fun because sometimes it does come up with like photos that look really realistic and you have to play around with different styles, different photographers, different artists. You can also give it a lot of prompting as far as like what kind of details you want in the background, the lighting style, things like that. So these are all things to play around with. As I said, this is AI art. It's the very beginning. It's so new, and so a lot of this is just playing around with it and trial and error, but it is really fun. Okay, one thing you can do to get ideas for different styles is you can go to something called Lexica, and this is something, lexica.art. It is a stable diffusion search engine. So stable diffusion is the AI software that is being used by this Google Colab and Dream Booth, and it's what generates these AI images. If you see a piece of art that you really like, I don't know, this looks kind of cool. When you click on it, this is the prompt that it gives. This is a prompt here, art by Art German, Greg Rukowski and Alphonse Mucha. These are different artists that when you combine together, I'm seeing this a lot, but I do really like this style. And so we're gonna copy this prompt and then go to our collab. We're going to put all this in and see what happens. So we still want to keep our unique name and person. I don't know if that is a person. I'm going to delete that because I don't know what it means. But okay, we're gonna do this. And some of the things that I have found to put as negative prompts that have been really helpful, like I don't want it to be cartoon, grainy, blurry, illustration. I don't want wrinkles. I don't want something that's ugly. I don't want asymmetry. I don't want blurry face. And I don't want a painting. So let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so this is very pretty. It doesn't, I mean, it looks somewhat like me. This looks nice. I think this is more in the style of what I am looking for, where it looks kind of like digital art. It's semi-illustration, not too cartoony and not too much like a photo, right? So somewhere in the middle. This is kind of in the style of Mucha, where you have kind of like something behind you that frames your face. And this is getting better. So we can try for some more photos. Let's press it again. So this is interesting. I like the lighting here, where you have some really good lighting in the hair. It's very dramatic. Yeah, these are interesting photos, and they kind of look like me. And here's the thing. This is why it is kind of like a slot machine, because maybe 1 in 10 come out looking kind of like me. But you just kind of hit it over and over again, and every once in a while you get one that both looks cool and visually interesting and looks like you. So this is one of those things where keep pressing the button and see what you get. Okay, so I like these. They're kind of fun. I really like this in the background, and this is where you can kind of put more detail into it. You can tell it what to put in the background, but again, you can see it doesn't really do fingers or hands that well. This is actually pretty good compared to a lot of the hands that I've seen. So let's give it some more prompting as to what we want the background to look like. I'm gonna put in, for the background that I would like, utopian dreamscape background. Let's see what happens here. Okay, this is pretty cool. This almost looks like Sedona in the background. My eyes are a little red here, so I don't know how I feel about that, but everything else looks kind of cool. I love this background, but this doesn't look like me. All right, let's see. I love this background too, but this could look a little more like me. I would like it to look like me. So as you can see, we're getting a little bit closer. Another thing that we could do is a prompt as far as like what kind of avatar we would like. Some kind of princess, a fairy goddess, you know, psychedelic hippie, things like that. Let's actually put it here as a Greek goddess. Let's try it. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, this is nice. This is interesting, but it's not as detailed as I would like it. This I like. I like this in the background, but the eyes are weird, and it does that a lot with the eyes. Sometimes it's not great with the eyes. Okay, this is okay. This looks pretty cartoony to me though. How about we put this in ancient Roman Empire dreamscape? Okay, so this, it's not the prettiest photo. This is not of my face at all, but I like the background. This is nice. I do really like the background here, and I like that it's like a halo behind my head. I've done that before where I put that in my prompt. This is my favorite so far. So yeah, as you can see, you keep going and keep refining your prompts until you get something you really like. Let's try this. Halo behind head. Instead of in the ancient Roman Empire, Polynesian goddess, utopian tropical dreamscape background. Let's see, because I like Hawaii in the tropics. Ooh, okay, I really like these ones. This makes me feel like I'm in Hawaii. So this is a really great background. It's okay. I like this background. This is nice. Let's try one more. Halo, powerful, sun goddess, golden dress. I kind of look like an alien here, but I like where it's going as far as the design. This is nice. I think this is cool. I like the way that my hair is glowing and the kind of halo behind my head. It looks really powerful. This is also really nice. I like this one. So, yeah, you can also go ahead and play with some of these like guidance scale and inference steps. Again, I don't know what it is, but you know, trial and error, figure it out. It's all options for you. Go to the Lexica and find out what other people are using as far as prompts. Play around with different things, get creative with different scenarios, and I'm going to show some of the different avatars that I've created, and I hope this gives you some ideas for your avatars and gets you started. If you have any questions, just put them down on the link below, and I really do hope that this works for you. Again, for me, little things happen like it times out or the servers are busy. Sometimes you have to run this a couple of times before it works, but once you get the hang of it, it is very simple because you just go down the list, you click the buttons, and then you just, it's like the slot machine. You see what happens. And yeah, so good luck, and I do hope that this works for you.